What do you love the most about being a woman?
What I love the most about being a woman is Mother Nature. I mean, giving birth to human life. That is what gives me the joy, not just in physical form, but even in the spiritual form, where you mold people, you walk with people. Most women are walking with people. They're not being dragged along. So I think that Mother Nature is what I love most about being a woman.
Ah, okay. You have talked about a very important aspect about being a woman, and as I, for us to be able to ensure that we are able to give birth, that's biologically, we do go through like a beautiful biological process that happens every single month. That's the menstrual cycle, and surprisingly, no matter how beautiful it is and what, especially in what it results to, there has been a lot of shame surrounding women and their periods, especially even from the olden times where a woman was seen as unclean during that time. That even to the point where women themselves feel ashamed about being on their periods, or they feel embarrassed about it. And sometimes I think it's not helped a lot by the society we have around us. So how can we counter that kind of shaming that we have been seeing?
See, it's a lack of wisdom, one, and also lack of understanding, because it's such a normal thing. I mean, this is such a normal thing. That's how
Yeah.
we even give birth to life. If you
Yeah.
don't have that, so when you look at it as a beautiful thing, that if I don't have this, I won't give birth as a woman. I mean, it's part of the process of giving birth. Then you appreciate it, like it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So you better embrace it. And from the boys' side, when you look at it like, if my mom didn't go through this, I wouldn't be here. Then you also learn how to appreciate it, because at the end of the day, most shame comes from men laughing at them. You see these poor people from poverty-stricken areas.
Yeah.
They sit at home even for 3 days, sitting on a hall so that it ends. Then they go back to school, because at school the boys will laugh at them, they'll point them out. But if we teach our boys that this is something very beautiful, and as a result, they are able to even hold these hands, girls, when they are maybe going through such issues. Their clothes have gone dirty, they give them something to cover, they tell them that it's okay, we understand. You know, that's how the shame will end, by taking the first initiative, talking to the boys that this is not something to be shameful about, and also talking to the girl and making them own it, like this is part of life.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like teaching, because the menstrual cycle is taught in school, in biology school, but teaching it is not enough. We do have, and I think even when we were having the period talk when I was in primary school and eventually high school, it was more of like the girls aside, and then we talk to them, and then the boys are out there playing. So it should not just be, we should have the period talk with ladies and tell them that what it is, and hygiene, and also talk to the men and tell them that the lady seated next to you is your sister, and for you to be where you are at, your mother went through that, and it resulted in you being where you are at. So I definitely agree, we need to get the boys in and talk to them also about it, that it's not something to really ridicule someone for, but you should appreciate and support her. So I don't know, how best can men support us during, how do you think men can support us?
Men can support us once they're equipped, because I know there are many initiatives that are coming up right now for men. Before it was just ladies, but once they're equipped and know that if this happens, this is what I can do for a lady, then it becomes more important. Which brings me to the aspect of talking about my book, Think Like a Teen, Act Like a Parent. It's actually a teenage young adults and parents guidebook that talks about the challenges they go through. And one of the things that I talk about is waiting for guys and periods for ladies, as they come to long to know along these lines in teenage. So working with every woman in every aspect that they are at, whether it's shameful or not, and telling them like, hey, what, you've wet your clothes, but it's okay. I mean, we don't need to laugh at you. We need to hold your hand and tell you that it's okay. Encouraging them, you know, and looking at them like your sisters, you know. If it was your sister wetting their clothes, you need to laugh at them, right? So look at everybody as, this is my sister, this is my family. So there's no need of laughing. What's there to laugh about anyway? And holding their hand and just walking with them.
Yeah, I agree. What would you say to a young girl out there? She is facing that kind of shame, and she feels like this is more of a curse than a blessing from God. What would you say to her in that space that she's in?
Yeah, I understand, especially when it comes to cramps, pain,
hormones all over.
Yeah, man, women talk about that and they're like, this thing, I don't like it, and they don't enjoy that bit. But there's a lot to it. There's a physical aspect. For me, I always say prayer. Number one, pray about it. God can do anything, can take away the pain, the shame, the guilt, and all that. And then number two, accept where you're at. You're a woman. It's not going anywhere. So accept that it's going to be part of your life for the rest of your life until you get menopause. And before then, I mean, it's a long journey, right? And then number three, do what you can. Like, you can do exercises. There are exercises you can do. There are things you can drink, like lemon. They help. There's things that you can eat that help reduce the timidity in the inside, so that it makes you, rather than, what do you say, rather than cussing, you go through it enjoying it. That it's something that is here to stay, so it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree. And being the fact that we are born women, or being born a woman, automatically some things are expected of us. Something like becoming a mother, that obviously you are the ones who do give birth. So what happens if you don't get children, or decide not to have children, or to become a mother in that sense? Does that mean now you are less of a woman, or you're less of a person, and you didn't fully realize yourself?
Not at all. Being a mother or a wife, let's say, is a personal decision. So you see, it's a decision that you make, that I want to be a wife, I want to be a mother. If you don't want to, the fact that you're a woman anyway. So it doesn't change the fact that you are less of a woman. It's personal choice. What do you want? Do you want to be a wife? Do you want to be a mother? If you don't want to, it's a choice. Everyone has the right to choose what they want in life. So it doesn't make you less of a woman.
Yeah, I agree. Also on that note, that from a young age, I feel like women have been placed on them immense responsibility, in as far as the ones who might do the cleaning, the cooking, caring for the younger siblings, and especially in this day and age that we have the 21st century woman who's empowered, who's going out chasing her dreams, and is still expected to be successful in the family area. Is it fair that we have so much is expected of us, or should we work hard as women to meet all those expectations?
For me, I'll say it's a win-win. How does it make you feel? You have the right to choose what you want to do, you know. For example, right now we're talking about women, but when it comes to those aspects, it kind of brings in men at the same time. Because at the end of the day, who you'll end up really determines what you're going to be able to do. Because if you end up with someone that is a lazy bum or forever, whether it's a woman or a man, you'll have to work harder to fit in the gap that he or she is leaving behind. So you will have to ask yourself, what is it do I want? You know, even as you're making that decision with somebody, maybe to settle down for the rest of your life, ask yourself those hard questions. Look at the aspects of the things that you want to do, not to fit the society's expectations, but to fit your needs as a person and as a couple. First as a person, then as a couple. What is it that you want to achieve? If doing all these activities makes you feel good, you enjoy doing them, and you have no problem about it, then do it. Go ahead and do it. Not according to society, but according to an individual. If it doesn't make you feel good about yourself, then shed some, and no one should make you feel bad about it.
Yeah, I totally agree, because I also from a young age felt that kind of pressure that I have to make it in every area.
Exactly.
Like being a career woman and chasing my dreams is not enough. It's just not enough. I have to be successful in this other area. So understanding that makes it so much easier that I can make the decision whether I want to do this full time or this full time, and whatever decision I go with, it's okay. It's okay to decide that my children are my priority and I'm going to stay at home and raise them. It's okay to decide I'm not going to have children, I'm going to focus on my career and probably helping other people in the area that I'm working in. Yeah, I think that's the thing that we miss out, that it is okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It is okay. Even if the society says this and that and that, it's okay.
The pressure will come on you, but you have to decide and make up your mind. Happiness is not pegged on society. It's just pegged on yourself.
Okay. Do you feel there are challenges that you have faced that are unique to you, being the fact that you are a woman?
I think the fact that I'm a woman, for me, I don't think I've faced any challenges per se. I've cruised through life just as well as a woman. I don't look as men as superior or superior whatever. I'm just okay. Yeah.
I feel that's key, because with the upbringing that we have, especially in an African culture, it's more of the woman stays on the side, don't say much, don't talk much. So what happens if you have that kind of a personality where you like to talk a lot, you're outgoing, you're aggressive?
Yeah.
So I feel yeah, such kind of women do sometimes face opposition from the society from because of their nature is that you are not soft spoken. You should be, yeah.
I think that has come to pass with time. Like
Yeah.
you have different personalities. You have sanguines, cholerics, pragmatics, and sad. So society is accepting everybody. You know, in terms of what you're able to do, in terms of what you're able to achieve, and so nobody should take you on your personality per se. Because at the end of the day, life is not personality. There's more to life than just personality. You know, I might be loud, but I'm productive. Might be quiet, but I'm not productive at the same time. So you will not peg me on my personality. There's more to life than personality.
Yes, yes, I agree. I think there's also now, as a result of that, I think what has happened is empowering the woman, and we have seen a lot of empowering and advocating for the girl child, the girl child, the girl child. As women, do you think it's also important that we advocate for the empowerment of men? Do they even need any empowerment? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me tell you, I've talked to a couple of friends, and they all have issues with men that have been in their lives because of one thing or the other. Women are more so empowered, and I'm happy that channels of men being empowered are also coming up nowadays. There's a lot that men are learning, and so we are kind of moving together, because before it was the woman this, the woman parts, the woman, but men there was nothing, and so they were left behind. So the woman is so powerful, the woman is performing their duties, the woman is, you find the roles are reversing even at home. She's the one paying rent, school fees, while the man is just there. But nowadays things are changing, because even the forums that men are coming into, they're being empowered. And so I need an empowered man in my life. I don't need some stand out with it as a man, and I have to have mine. I'm here to support you. So how am I going to support you if I'm the one dragging you along? It will be like you're here to support me, reverse roles. So that's not how it's supposed to be. All of us need to be empowered.
Yeah, let's aim for human empowerment.
Exactly.
Not
girl child or boy child.
Yeah, it always feels like a war, because we're also looking into getting equity where we have like equal opportunities. Like, I know we are not yet there, but it almost feels like a war, like we're fighting, like we have to fight them and get them, conquer and stuff like that. I don't think it should be like that, because we're all human. It should be us supporting each other to become the people we are meant to be.
Exactly. We need each other.
Yes, yes, because after you fight them and you step on them, now
who's gonna lead again then?
I agree. What do you feel is the biggest lesson you've learned about identity so far?
The biggest lesson that I've learned about identity is just stand out, just like you are, the best version of yourself, because it answers the questions: who am I? Self-concept. I will look at myself, the qualities, the values that I have for myself. So stand out for those, and people will follow you by the way as a result of what you're standing out. If you have nothing you're holding on to, nobody wants to follow you. But you have things that are standing out within yourself to reach out to the world. People will associate you with that. So stand out, present yourself, prepare. There's preparation. You can't just stand out without preparation. You have to prepare, then you have to have set goals. When you stand out, people will look at you from a distance and say, I want to associate with you. So that's the hugest lesson that I've learned.
Okay. So what would you say to a young girl out there who is struggling to find her identity in a society that is dismissive of her, who sees her as not amounting to much just because she's female? What would you say to her? Yeah.
I'll tell her that she should never let society define her. She's a good girl wherever she is, whatever she does. She only has to realign her choices in a way that it will make her stand out as a good person. There's always something attractive about anyone. There's always a purpose for everybody. So that is what you stand out to, and society will accept you for that. We've seen communities where women were not leading, but nowadays I see a lot of women coming from such communities and leading because they stood out and someone noticed it. So if you're not able to stand out and accept that common status quo position, then nobody will notice you. But stand out and fight for what you believe, not in a bad way, but in a right way.
Yeah, thank you for having on. I know that was really short and sweet.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. And I look
Thank
forward
you
to
for
having
having me.
you
I will definitely come back.
on more and more.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.